I'll say one negative thing and there's going to be a million comments about Greg's a hater. Coach Greg, and the Germany competition is over, the Dennis James Classic, and I am here to give you my opinions and a breakdown of what I think about David Hoffman's physique, as well as Mike Sommerfeld, who plays second, and other notables in the show, including the amateur bodybuilding overall winner, and so on. And I'm going to critique myself. If you've seen the Wesley Vissers videos that I've done, it will be similar to that. So stay tuned, see what I think. Do I think he's awesome? Is he a future Olympian freak? What's he gonna do? How does he look? And so on. Before I even get into it, this is my opinion. This is what I think from a judging perspective. Has no bearing on if I like the guy personally or not, okay? So it's just my straight up, honest critique of his physique, maybe what he could improve on, or if he's already as good as he can get, and so on. Okay, so David Hoffman, what are his strengths? And first of all, he won the show hands down easy. Why? He was shredded, ripped, top to head to toe. He was shredded everywhere. In particular, hamstrings, glutes just peeled, okay? So he definitely put in the work and he came in conditioning and was rewarded for it. What else do I like? He has a very small waist and he's huge. He's a monster. If you see him in person, you're like, oh my God, that guy is classic. So that's the kind of look that you want to have in classic physique. You almost want to be like too big for classic. You want to be like, you want people to think you're a bodybuilder, like pure up, straight up, like open bodybuilding. He is massive. His abs are awesome. He has a small waist and great shape. So everything so far, awesome. His detail in the chest was great. His abs are great. His quads have good flare, good shape. Now, what are his weaknesses? I mean, everyone has something that could be better. His biceps. Does that matter? Well, not really. Chris Bumstead's biceps are not as good as David's, and Chris is the Mr. Olympia. So what would I do if I were him? I would try to beef up my arms as much as possible. You know, that's just one area. You can't have too big of an arm. I mean, it could be better. So it's not really a strength, okay? What else? The pose I hate the most is when he does this thing, okay? So I think it's kind of like the Arnold whatever. He doesn't have the arms to support that as being his best pose. I would get rid of that pose and do something different, okay? Not saying it's horrible, because you guys are going, the hater, the hater, Greg doesn't like David Hoffman. I can say for 15 minutes how he won by a mile and how he looked fantastic, and I'll say one negative thing and there's going to be a million comments about Greg's a hater. I'm not hating on him and I'm not jealous. I'm happy he won. I had zero chance of winning. So going into this, my goal was top 5. I had people thinking I was going to win. I'm like, are you guys insane? Do you not know what the level of competition that's going in? I got 9th and I am stoked, pumped, happy. I'm like, how did I get 9th against these guys? They're that good, okay? So I'm pumped I got 9th, okay? So what else did I not like? I don't like his lat spread, which isn't a classic physique pose, but in his routine he did it. So he doesn't actually need to do it. His back double bicep is great. So he has a lot of thickness and it has the V shape that comes down. So I think it's great. So I would not do the back lat spread and I would get rid of this and I think that would help him a lot. I don't think he'll be in the top 5 in the Olympia. There are guys that are just so good. I think he's top 10 in the world. Greg the hater, he didn't have him in the top 5. Bleh! Just shut up. Top 10 out of billions of people, and it's an insult is what you guys are going to say. I think he's going to get top 10 in the Mr. Olympia. That's incredible. Come on, guys. Okay? So that's my opinion on David Hoffman. He can't get really any leaner. I don't know if he has any pounds to spare in that weight class. So I don't know what he can do. He can get bigger arms. That's really it. And change a couple of his poses. Overall, he poses really good. So he deserved to win. So congrats to David Hoffman. I did meet him. I didn't really get to say much other than, hi, you know, pleasure to meet you. That's it. But seeing him in person, I'm like, holy shit, this dude is freaking impressive. Okay, moving on to second place. In second place from Germany, Mike Sommerfeld. What can I say about this guy? Oh my goodness, this guy is good. This guy has redonkulous potential, okay? I'm saying he's so good. Why didn't he win? David Hoffman clearly beat him. Why? He did not show up conditioned. He looked 4 weeks out. 4, not 1 or 2, not 3, 4 weeks out. I was leaner than that 4 weeks out. Does that mean I'm better than him? No! He could beat me in his off season. He's so good, okay? I'm not insulted. Greg's hating on him because he called him fat. He's not shredded. He's off. He was soft. He could get way better. How good do I think he is? If he comes in shredded to the bone the way Hoffman did, he wins against David Hoffman. He has more potential than David Hoffman. If I could trade physiques with anyone in the show, that's the physique I choose. That is the best potential physique in that show. That is a top 5 potential physique in the world at the Mr. Olympia, conditioned. 5 more pounds of fat he could lose. He's competing close to 6.5%, 7% body fat. So I'm watching him pumping up backstage and I'm like, okay, he looks really good. There's some muscle on that dude. His shape is good. And I'm like, man, if he was dieted. Babe, the guy in second place with the vacuum.
I know exactly who he is.
Like, we are blown away. She's a judge. Okay? What was he missing?
He just needed to be way leaner.
Way leaner.
His vacuum was amazing.
Craziest vacuum. Like, he rivals Chris Bumstead's vacuum. I mean, maybe he could win the Mr. Olympia. Because if he gets 5 pounds leaner, that's 5 pounds of muscle he can add everywhere. He has good structure everywhere. His quads are full. It's like, how in the hell are these guys making the weight classes? I mean, they're a little bit taller. So, like, Hoffman is so tall. The higher you are, the taller you are, it's more imposing. Like, I literally think they need 2 divisions in classic physique. And yeah, I'm saying it because I'm short. But there's open bodybuilding and there's 212 bodybuilding. 2 separate divisions. Can a 212 guy win the Mr. Olympia? Yeah, it's possible. Some 5'2" guy comes out of nowhere as a freak. You get guys like Hadi Chopin and Flex Lewis who can place, who are 212 guys at the Mr. Olympia and they could potentially win. Maybe, you never know, right? But in general, most 212 guys will get killed by the bigger open guys. In general, most 5'6" manlets like me get killed. There was one guy in the show shorter than me. He didn't place that well. I think he got 13. It is hard. Yeah, Breon got Mr. Olympia. Yeah, he did. But now Chris bumps, and it's like, if Breon was 6 feet tall with the same, he would win everything. It wouldn't be close. He would destroy everybody. The taller you are, the more imposing you are. All these guys look so big. I was pumping up and I was in shock. I went into the show thinking my goal is top 5. As soon as I saw everyone pumping up, I said, my goal is top 10. Because I was like, there's no possible way I can beat these guys. These guys are so good and so ripped. So this guy, I mean, his arms are big. His quads are incredible. His waist is, it's lats. It's just the V taper. Like, so compared to like Wesley Vissers, his back goes like this. Wesley's goes like this and then kind of comes up high. Wesley's shredded. Way more ripped than this guy. This guy beats Wesley, though, even in this shape, in my opinion. Wesley, in this show, would have got 3rd. I think David Hoffman is better than Wesley. It's just my opinion. If you're a Wesley fan, I'm not saying this to piss you off. David Hoffman, I like more. It doesn't mean it's not like, oh, I'm sucking up to Hoffman. No, I'm just giving you my straight up, honest opinion. This should be it. Babe, who do you like more, Wesley or Hoffman?
I don't like Wesley's shape at all.
She doesn't like Wesley's shape at all. Don't hate on my girlfriend. That's an honest opinion from a judging perspective.
Well, everyone has a
Do you want to come in this video? Come stand in.
a different opinion. Like,
because this is a judge. She was sitting in the front row watching the show, and she's a good judge. She's judged 20 shows. She knows what she's doing. Just sit in here with me. Yeah. Okay. So, who do you like the most? Like, what do you think, Dennis Hoff? Like, just to remind you.
I know who they are.
Who would you have had winning this show?
Well, I would have had Dennis Hoffman winning.
David Hoffman.
David Hoffman. See, I don't even
because
know because he was the leanest. He has a good shape. It's not my favorite shape, but he has a good shape.
She likes Chris Bumstead the most. You gotta be open and honest about it.
Yes, I do.
She would marry him over me, I think.
But the second, the Mike guy, he would be one of my favorite shapes. His quads are insane. He has the tiniest waist, and he doesn't look like a bodybuilder. I have a problem with people who look like bodybuilders who you did, but
she's like, Greg, man, you're not classic. I'm like, babe, I can do a vacuum now. She said it one time.
I originally did say that, but you changed your
I did
shape
get
a
my
little
vacuum
bit.
and I shrank my waist
You
down.
shrank your waist and you broadened your shoulders. So that gives you a completely different shape. I don't like squarish bodybuilder shapes at all. So you do have to have that tiny waist. And the second place guy, he had the tiniest, he turned sideways when he was doing the vacuum. And honestly, it was like this big.
Okay,
it was
honest
insane.
opinion. If he got 5 pounds lean, crazy ripped, ripped like Hoffman, could he beat Chris Bumstead? Is it possible? Let's say you added 5 pounds of muscle and lost 5 pounds of fat.
Well, I don't know. I really have to see them side by side. I'm more of a comparison when I can see people's
Right.
So if I had a side by side picture, I could definitely say which shape I preferred better.
Yeah, of course.
But I'd like to see this Mike guy in his top shape is what I would like to see.
So let's say in the Mr. Olympia, could he be a top 5?
Oh, for sure. I was blown away by the caliber of the athletes in the show, hands down. The top 5, the top 3, I really, really liked.
Yeah, it was insane.
It was insane.
It was insane. I didn't realize how good they were, and then she showed me video and pictures. I was like on stage, even better than I thought.
Compared to Toronto.
So basically, I'll assess my own physique now. My hamstrings are awesome. They're right up there.
Yeah.
They're right up there. I mean, maybe Hoffman's was better.
They were very close. Again,
But
I saw it
Hoffman is onto the Mr. Olympia, and I mean, my hamstrings are awesome. My quads, they don't show as big in the way I posed it, but we're gonna work on that. So that's something I'm gonna improve on. What about my abs? Everyone says my abs suck. Do they suck? What's the scoop here? Because I don't know.
I think people like that blocky, genetic blocky abs, which you don't have. So, I know people who have them, and I mean, they're impressive, but some people just don't have them. So.
But I mean, did I have fat on my abs?
No, I mean, you don't think you had fat anywhere.
My stomach is ripped. You'll have to see some pictures. I took a picture with the 6th place guy. We can talk about him.
Oh yeah,
he's
was
21
really
years old. Urs Kalesinski.
He's from Germany.
From Germany, a blonde, good-looking 21-year-old. I posted him on my IG. Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro. Go and look at IG. I'm standing next to him. He dwarfs me. He's is he hot? He's good-looking, right?
Yeah, he's a good-looking
I'm not
guy.
gay, but I think he's hot. Maybe I'm gay. I don't know. I don't want to sleep with I'm not gay, but I think certain guys are hot. Whatever. He's good looking. He's 21. And to me, he's a freak with future freak potential. Because was he ripped?
No.
No, he was off. He was
Did
soft.
he just win his pro card?
He won his pro card a week ago.
Yeah, he won his pro card a week ago.
I went back and looked at his pro win pictures, and I was like, holy crap. I was I think he was leaner when he won his pro card and just did his show. But that dude can put on, I think he said he's 20 pounds under his weight limit or something.
Yeah, he has a long way
I'm
to go.
are you kidding me? So this kid in the future he's going to be in the Mr. Olympia easy. He has so much potential. So on my IG, I have a picture. I'm standing next to him. Look at my abs. I'm flexing my abs, standing next to him like this, whatever. And he's standing there and he looks good. My abs I have great abs. I think. Maybe they're not.
Yeah.
It's subjective. Now, for me, what do I think my strengths are? My back, I think, is awesome. I think my back muscles pop out everywhere. I have a lot of little bumps and stuff. Other guys have maybe bigger backs, but they don't have like the little bumps. The little bumps is what makes the difference. The detail. My back is detailed. I have a Christmas tree. My back comes out like that. I have the good V and a lot of crispy detail. And then combine that, I have striated glutes. My hamstrings are like cable cords on each side. So I think my back double bicep pose is really good. My front double bicep vacuum pose, people say is arguably my best pose. So that's a good pose. My waist isn't narrow enough on that pose. If it looked like Keon or like the guy in second, it would be way better. My chest, I mean, it's thick. I have a big chest. Maybe not when I stand, but it's all right.
You definitely have a big chest.
So my chest is good. I've had comments, oh, I need more chest.
No.
What about my arms? A lot of people, no, you have no triceps. Before you answer, I got in a bike accident. Oh, yeah, too loud.
We're in a hotel room.
Yes,
Like,
we're
people
in a
are
hotel.
sleeping.
Calm down, Greg, calm. I got in a bike accident, broke my elbow. See that scar? My elbow was broken here, okay? There's tricep there. This was not connected to my arm. It couldn't move. It was here 2 years ago. I had no, as in a zero tricep surgery. They sewed it back in. And then I was like this in cast. 6 months later, I had 2 inches off my arms. I couldn't even train for 6 months. I couldn't wash my hair. Remember, it took like 4 weeks.
I remember. You couldn't cut food and fork food in your
Yeah.
mouth.
Now look. That's not too bad. That's my bad arm, okay? So, you want more triceps. Okay. Well, for what I have, I did all right. So what do you think? Are my arms too small?
I don't know who's saying. The only thing I think that you need to improve is your posing for your quads. So.
And we worked on it. She helped me. And the toes are going to go wider like this and spread out more. Because my sartorius, which is this long, strandy cord muscle, is very well developed. Somebody said it was a huge compliment. They said it reminded them of Chris Cormier. And I was like, that's the best thing I remember about him back in the day. I was like, man, I love that. And I remember another guy, David Nogler. I used to compete back with him in the day, in the 90s. And he had that. And so I'm going to try to demonstrate that. Because like a lot of you see on my Instagram and do my vacuum front double, and you're all the comments are quads, crazy quads. Everyone says my quads are my best body part, but when I get on stage, it's not that impressive because I'm not standing properly.
Yeah, I noticed it with multiple people in the show. I mean, when you're just standing normally,
standing relaxed,
even if you're flexing everything, your legs have a completely different straight line unless you're a freak and your quads.
Yeah, like the guy in second.
Yeah, exactly. He's just standing normal and they're like sticking 5 feet out the side.
Yeah.
The point is everyone's gonna have weaknesses, and your posing really helps hide your weaknesses. So, not everyone has those massive quads, and hopefully your posing for this next show will fix that.
Yeah, and I want to get top 5.
That's
a lot of
the
people are
goal.
like, Greg, you need to retire. You can't even win. There was like 10 comments saying, Greg didn't even win a pro show. How does he have a pro card? You don't win a pro show to get a pro card. You win an amateur show to turn pro. Are these guys morons?
See, this is the problem with our society. Everybody can't be a winner.
No.
Everyone doesn't get a participation badge #1. There's going to be losers, there's going to be winners, and there's going to be a bunch of people in between. So to not compete because you're not going to get first has nothing to do with a bad attitude and you have to think you're going to get first. No, you have to be realistic. I don't know this generation what the heck is going on, but stupid comments like you should just retire because you're never going to win.
Yeah.
What kind of an attitude
Should
is
Dexter
that?
Jackson quit? He won the Mr. Olympia 10 years ago. Now he can't win. Should he quit?
Come on, guys.
I'll never win, so I should quit. So every show should only have 3 guys, the 3 guys who might win? That'd be a boring ass show. The Mr. Olympia, only Chris Bumstead and Breon and a couple guys should show up because not everyone can place. Come on. The Boston Marathon has what, 20,000 people running?
Yeah.
Only 20 should run?
Yeah, like I don't even understand
It's so
comments like that.
stupid.
It's so
And so they're
stupid.
like, Greg, you belong in amateur. You're not even good enough to be a pro. Okay, so the 11th place finisher, Tundi Chris Taylor. The leanest guy in the show, one of the leanest guys I've ever seen in my entire life. Dude was shredded. So shredded. He won overall. So he wins a huge, massive show. The best amateur in the country or whatever. He turns pro. Guess what? He gets to compete against us on the same day in his perfect condition. He gets 11th place. I got 9th place. So that means if I were amateur, I would have beat him. So I would have turned pro and then I would have competed pro. So it's so stupid to say, oh, Greg, you should be amateur. I would have won amateur. I beat the amateur.
I think the people who are trying to say that are just being rude to be rude. Like, I mean, because they can't possibly actually think that that's a logical comment to make.
People are that dumb.
But
Okay,
how?
moving on to, in 10th place, Abdelkarim Amari from Morocco, okay? So I beat him by 1 point, okay? He got 3rd place against Wesley, I don't want to say his name wrong. People are going to hate me.
Vissers?
Wesley Vissers? I hope I'm saying his name. I'm not trying to insult him. He got 3rd place against Wesley Vissers, okay? And he looked better at this show. He even told me himself. He got 10th place. I got 9th place. I'm watching this guy in the warm-up room pumping up and standing and posing, and I'm like, there is no way I can beat that guy. He is way better than me. I'm in the warm-up room, and I'm impressed with this guy, and I'm thinking he's top 5 for sure. I'm picking out the guys that I think are top 5. He's in the top 5 in my view. He gets 10th place, and I get 9th place. So the point I'm trying to make is judging is subjective. On any day, anyone can beat anyone. Well, not anyone, if it's close. Now, why do I think he didn't place in the top 3 this time? He's not big enough. When I saw the actual footage, because, he's competing, he's in my call out, and I beat him by 1 point, and then the guy who beat me in 8th place, he beat me by 1 point. It could have gone either way. I could have been 10th, and he could have been 9th.
Entire judging panel.
It was 1 point. That means some judges had him ahead of me, and basically it means that 3 judges had me ahead of him, and 2 had him ahead of me. And then in the guy that beat me by 1 point, 3 would have had him ahead of me, and 2 would have had me. It could have gone either way. I could have been 8th, and the guy in 10th could have been 8th, and it could have. But there's only 4 in that call out, so we didn't even get to stand next to 7th place or 6th place. So, maybe if we're in there, it mixes up even more. You never know what the judges think. But the point I'm trying to make is, you can't just be only going for the placing. So when I say I'm competing just to be my best and 5th is my goal, it's my goal, but it isn't gonna cry if I don't get it. It would be stupid to think that you only compete because you're gonna win. I think that's stupid. I think it's moronic. I think it's embarrassing for the people that say that. Yeah. And if you only compete because you're gonna win, the shows would be boring. No one would compete.
Didn't someone say you should quit and we should just start having babies?
Yeah. Quit that babies. What are you doing? I
Really,
enjoy
guys?
this. It's my passion. I love to do this.
Even if we did have babies, which we're not having babies, we love our life. We love to be able to do whatever we want to do when we want to do it. And we're old. Greg would still compete.
I still like to compete.
It's not have a family or compete. You can do both if you want to, even if you don't win.
So one guy I wanted to talk about, Jerry Braswell. He was a crowd favorite. He's a giant. He's like 6 foot something tall. So he gets out on stage, he's doing his routine, then he lets the beard out. His beard is the most epic beard on the planet. It's like
he's never
this
cut
long.
it in his entire life.
It's forever
It's
beard.
the longest beard.
And he's the coolest guy. I was talking to backstage. He's a business owner, and he knows he's not going to win. And he's like me. He's competing, and he's trying to have a good time and trying to place in the top 5 and do the best he can. And he looked amazing. He was shredded. He had a great back, thick muscles, and he likes to compete. He's just a down-to-earth, normal, cool guy, okay? So you don't have to always be like the champion to do these shows. Oh, want to mention this. I got a picture with the overall bodybuilding champion, amateur, super heavyweight and overall.
Oh, yeah.
23 years old. I took a picture with him. I don't even look like I work out next to this guy. I mean, this guy is impressive. He had shredded glutes, like just top to bottom. Thick muscles, good shape, young beast. He's going to be
Huge.
in the top 3 in pro shows right away as soon as he comes. I mean, assuming he comes into the shape he was there. That was an impressive freaking amateur overall winner. I was like, wow, this show is crazy.
I posted a video of him, and all of the comments, which were all from girls, were like, look at his glutes. But they probably said booty or something like that.
Yeah, maybe you should enter that new glutes division.
Oh my gosh, he'd win for
the
sure.
new glutes contest. Well, it
And I
might
was
not
like-
beat Savickas Olsalik there, the guy with the dancing glutes.
Well, his weren't shredded at all. They were just massively massive. Imagine him in his off season, what they'd look like.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
So, and I don't know the girl's name.
Oh,
Women's physique.
I know her name. She's great.
I saw her in the hotel. She's like, oh man, I watched your troubles heading into the show, you know, with the flights and all that. It's like, oh, that's so cool. Then me and my girlfriend were watching the show, and then this girl comes out. We didn't recognize that it was the same girl we saw. And then we're like, holy, look at that girl. She wins by a mile. Legs are crazy. So then she wins, and then I find out it's the same girl. I'm like, holy. And so hopefully she comes to Canada and competes. But I wanted to give her a shout out because she really impressed me for women's physique. She was flawless, head to toe, shredded with great
Massive.
development,
She was
muscle
massive.
everywhere, just the kind of physique that you want to have as a women's physique competitor.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously she could bodybuild too because she's got that much muscle, but women's physique, awesome. Big Rami guest posed against the last year's winner. Last year's winner was quite off season, but Big Rami at 325 pounds. Holy. He might have had 12% body fat at 325 pounds, and we pulled the pants down, the legs. I mean, from the bone to the end of his quad, it's probably a foot of muscle that sticks. Like, he is so big. We were carving up the night before at the restaurant. He walked in, and it was like, oh my God, look at this dude. It's Big Rami. He is a monster. My first pro show in New York, I was pumping up next to him. And I think it might have been his first pro show. And I was like, I was 189 pounds. He was probably 289. And I was thinking in my head, he must be looking at me and thinking, does this guy even work out? Why is he even in the show? You know, because he's that big. He is so big.
Huge. Like, honestly, he was standing and casting a shadow, like taking up all my light with his massiveness. Like, it's unbelievable how big he is. Like, if you stood behind him, nobody could see you. And you're big.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's got genetics. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up by saying 5 more days till Niagara. Hopefully I make the top 5, but as you know, it all depends on who shows up. If a bunch of freaks show up that look like they did this weekend, I ain't getting no top 5.
That's just like European genes. Like,
They were freaks.
It was unbelievable.
I mean, it wasn't the Mr. Olympia, but it was certainly a difficult show when the guy who gets 3rd place last week gets 10th this week. It just goes to show how tough it can be. I have as in 0 chance of winning. Repeat that, 0 chance of winning. I don't think I'm going to win. I don't think I'm the best in the world. I don't think I'm better than David Hoffman. I don't think I'm better than Wesley. I don't think I'm better than any of these guys. I just trying to be the best me. So stop making comments saying stupid shit like, oh, Greg, you didn't even beat this. And how can you talk smack about Wesley Vissers and not even win? I never thought I could ever win. And I know Wesley's way better than me. So just don't worry about it. I'm just giving you my opinion. I give you my opinion on the competitors in the show. Do what you will with it. Do what you won't. All right, I'm going to end this video there. If you want to watch something else, there'll be a video bloop there. There's going to be another one bloop there. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IFBB Pro. And follow me. And until next time, we are out.